مقر جمعية اللاعبين المحترفين في انجلترا، والحقيقة أنا سعيد إن أنا يعني بعمل انترفيو مع واحد من أقدم ومن اللعيبة المحترمين، لاعب الأندية كبيرة جدا في انجلترا، ريتشارد جوبسون. Richard, how are you doing?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
It's an honor to have you here first of all, and as I was talking to you earlier on, the reason we're here that we're trying to show Egyptian people how did you do the setup and what's the relation of the PFA towards the English FA, and how do you protect the players, and what is the services do you give to the players, and what is the financial resources for the PFA. It's a lot of questions, but I will start with you with how long now does the PFA exist?
The PFA was set up in 1907.
So it's more than 5 years.
That's right, yeah, by a guy called Billy Meredith, who played for Manchester United and Wales. It was set up in a hotel in Manchester, the Imperial Hotel, and that's the reason our headquarters are now based in Manchester. Yeah. We celebrated our centenary 5 years ago, which was fantastic. We're in fact the world's oldest sporting union. So a lot of sporting unions from all over the world look to the English PFA for a lead. Yeah, we've got a very long and established history. We've got 4,000 current members, including yourself.
Yes, of course.
And then we've got 50,000 former members. We're unique as a union in the fact that once you join the PFA, which you did when you first came over to England in 2004 with Tottenham, you remain a member effectively for the rest of your life, which is obviously very, very unique. So we've got 50,000 former members, and we tend to spend most of our money, our income, on the former members, whether it's to do with operations, coaching badges, education, retraining players to go into a second career. But there's a whole range of areas that we get involved in. We've got about 50-60 members, full-time members of staff. Most of the male members are former players like myself, so we can relate to the current members and to the ex-members, so it works very well.
So what you're saying is that even after the player stops football, you still help him to get a second career, as you said.
That's right.
And I want to tell you what is tell me some of the famous cases or some of the players that you've helped out through the years, because I know it's a very difficult period, isn't it, when when you stop football and you don't know what you're gonna start doing. Are you gonna go into coaching? Are you gonna do media? Are you gonna help the kids get kids education? So tell me what exactly do you do to the player when he decides, okay, now that's it, I'll just stop?
As you know, I look after about 18 clubs, and some of the clubs you played over the years, Middlesbrough, Barnsley, Wigan, place like that. We go into the clubs 2 or 3 times a year and try and speak to the players and encourage them to get some sort of qualification behind them while they're still playing, because the average length of a player's career is only 8 years when you take injury and players just dropping out of the game. So it's only the very top few percent of players who earn so much money that they don't have to work again. So we try and stress the players, get some sort of qualifications behind you, and we've got a charitable.
I'm sure that's even before they stop.
Yeah,
that's even before they decide. While they're playing.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of players taking qualifications now. So when their career comes to an end, when they're 32, 33, 34. They can move seamlessly into a second career, especially coaching. When players' careers come to an end, they can go straight into coaching at a club or even management. Whereas what used to happen 10, 20, 30 years ago, players' career used to come to an end in the mid-30s, and then they used to spend 3 or 4 years getting some sort of qualifications. So you've got coaching qualifications, players are doing all sorts of education courses, where they're doing languages, they're doing IT courses, they're doing business courses. We've got some bespoke degree courses that we've set up. We've got courses like sports journalism, which maybe
they get into they become a sport journalism.
That's right. Yeah. People like Clark Carlisle, who's our chairman, he's doing the journalism course and he's still playing. It's a 2-year part-time course, so he will have a degree behind him when his career comes to an end. We do physiotherapy at Salford University, which is a 4-year part-time course. We do a sports science degree course as well, but the PFA fund these courses massively, and sometimes players want to do a whole range of courses. Sometimes some want to do trades, they want to become a plumber, they want to become an electrician, you name it, we'll help fund it.
And if you play in any division in England, you become a PFA member? Yeah,
it's not compulsory, but because of the services and benefits that we provide, every single player joins. There's a one-off joining fee of £20, which you pay when you first come over to this country, or you first sign as a scholar or an apprentice or a professional. Then the annual subscription is £150 a year, which is what you pay now as a current member. Now, when your career finishes and you haven't got a playing contract, then you don't pay any more subscriptions, but you're still entitled to come onto the PFA for assistance with funding.
Assistance and help and everything. So your job actually as a PFA is to organise the life of a football player while he's playing. If he got any problems, by example, I'm still playing and when I bought my car, I had 20% off because I'm a PFA member. And by example, we get football boots, we get equipment. You help us with everything probably, but
you got insurance, you got pensions.
Insurance as well, pensions.
When you get to 35, you'll receive a pension. Insurance, there's 50 players each year have to retire through injury, unfortunately. So there's an insurance policy in place for these players.
So even if you stop football before 35, you still get the money when you get to 35 years of age.
You'll get the pension money when you retire at 35. When you get 35, but if you have to retire early, say at 25 with a really bad injury and you can't play again, that's insurance, and also you will be able to get your pension money early. So there's a whole raft of benefits, and that's why all the players join the PFA. As a former player, as a current player, you get covered by private medical insurance. So if you need to go for a scan or a consultation or an operation, your club will sort that out for you. The club pay for that. But when you become an ex-player, you have to rely on the NHS, and sometimes if you need a knee operation, you might need a hip replacement in your 50s or a knee replacement when you're 60. To wait on the NHS can take a year to 18 months, but the PFA have got a fund there where we will help fund these operations, to get you through the system a lot quicker.
I want to know, who's on top of the PFA? I'm not talking about individuals here. I'm not talking about persons. What I'm saying is, let's say if the PFA now, you decide, or you're not doing your job properly, like you're getting this money, you have the money, and you're not doing anything for the players. Who comes after you?
We're the players, because we're effectively a union. We have a management committee of about 12 current players. Clark Carlisle is our chairman. We've got people like Phil Neville on there. We've got Breda Hangeland from Fulham on there. We've got Jason Roberts on there. We've got some quite well-known players. Gary Neville, when he was playing, but Neville used to be on the management committee. So
the players come after you?
All the PFA's business has to go through the management committee. So the PFA and its staff, and Gordon Taylor's our full-time chief exec, we're all answerable to the management committee. So for instance, you as a player, you're not particularly happy with what the PFA is doing for you as their union, then you would bring it up with the management committee. 92 professional clubs you've got in England, each one has got a PFA delegate. Now, for instance, at Barnsley, it's Bobby Hassel. For instance, at Man United, it's Amanda Vidic.
Because does it have to be the captain, or just
it can be anyone. The players in the changing room vote for who they want the PFA delegate to be. Now, so you could say to the players at Barnsley, for instance, I want to become the PFA delegate, or if Bobby moves on or goes to another club, then they'll have a vote.
So go for a vote.
So that's our point of contact. And then out of the 92 delegates that we've got, there's 12 of those 92 will apply to go on the management committee, and they're the ones that oversee all the players' business. So that's the way it works. But that's the way a union works in general in this country.
What I wanted to talk to you about is I'm sure you know about that. Like last year or a couple of years ago, I think it's 18 months. No, it's almost 2 years now. We've had a massive incident back in Egypt, and it was riot between the supporters and in Port Said, and unfortunately there are 74 football fans who died back that night, and it's been really like dramatic back in Egypt, and of course it's a shame, and it's such a massive disappointment if someone is going to support his team, the team that he loves and his family support all his life, and you end up dead in a football stadium. And since then we couldn't go on with the football again, so the football stopped since almost 2 years, and since then the players have been trying to get the football going again. The players has been doing their best, trying to do everything. They've gone into demonstration to get the football going again and to get the league started again, because as you know, most of them, they don't have any other job. And now it ended up like in the second, like the lower divisions, the second division, the third divisions, and even the first divisions. And believe me, some international players, now they're doing other jobs. Some of them working in the shops, some of them working as plumbers, some of them working different jobs, and the PFA didn't show up at all. And I was talking to you before we started filming, and I said to you that I'm not doing this program to cane people and try to go after people or anything, but my aim is I want people to know what's the right thing to do. What do you think the PFA should have done in such a situation?
I don't think it's just down to the Egyptian PFA. You've got over in England, you've got the major stakeholders, which are the PFA. You've got the Premier League, the Football League, the two leagues, and then also got the governing body, the FA. And we work very closely together, those four bodies, and we sort of pulled together. Now, obviously the disaster that happened a couple of years ago in Egypt. We had similar incidents 20, 30 years ago in England. In the 80s, we had Hillsborough, we had the fire at Bradford where 50 people lost their lives, and then there was the Hazel disaster.
Your job really as a PFA is more to protect the players, because I've seen a couple of interviews to Gordon Taylor, the chief executive, and he was talking about protecting the players, and he was talking about the incident of Rayo last week. He was talking about Alan Smith. They've had a problem as well, and the Kirkland incident earlier this year. So what do you think? I'm sorry, I'm taking a little bit away from England, but most of our viewers are back from Egypt and from the Middle East, and I want to ask you, if you have an advice, what would you advise the Egyptian PFA to do to get two things? First, to protect the players while games going on, because actually at the Port Said incident, some of the players were gonna die as well. And the second thing, what do you think they should do to start things rolling again and to get football into the right place again?
I think you need to get around the table. The players, the Egyptian PFA. You need to get the Egyptian FA, which is the governing body of football. In Egypt. Now they're part of FIFA, I presume, so whether you want to get FIFA involved or whether they would like to get involved, I mean FIFA is the world governing body of football, as you're well aware, and you need to get the Egyptian government, you need to get all those bodies sat around the table, and then start, not from scratch, but you need to start building bridges, you need to be working together, pulling in the same direction.
Supporters as well?
Well, the supporters are key.
I want to thank you very much for helping me getting here, and it was an honor to have you.
Okay, no problem.
يعني حاولنا نبين لحضراتكم ايه الفرق بين عندنا والناس دي بتشتغل ازاي، واتمنى ان احنا نكون في مسؤولين كتير كانوا بيتفرجوا عليا النهارده، ونكون استفدنا من خبرات الناس دي. اشوفكم الاسبوع الجاي على خير من حلقة جديدة ومكان جديد وبرنامج العالمي.